Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic and wonderful. Thank you for the concern about my digestive issues. I appreciate that. But I'm fine with this stuff. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being tired. I'm more scared of the tiredness, honestly. I have a I guess a uh, condition known as Epstein-Barr, which is essentially mono that recurs. And so I have there are periods of time where I will be, essentially mono tired for a week or 10 days or something like that. And that happens a few times a year. And it's just something I have to deal with. And this is kind of like that, but it's something different. So hopefully it's just some side effects of this thing, and that's it. But that's beside the point. Last night I had a scare, and I'm going to tell you a scare, and it's going to be a little bit disgusting. So I'm going to attempt to edit my words as best as possible, so that I don't. Anyway, many of you know I have a dog. DJ is his name, and he's 8 years old, and he is a Labrador wiener. And if I can find a decent picture, I'll put it on the screen so you can see him. He was a dog that we got for my daughter, and kind of like a therapy dog. And then he ended up taking to me instead, and so he's been my best friend. And when they left, he stayed. But yesterday we had a little scare. He started acting kind of funny, and Em and I went to dinner with her brother, and when we came back, he was outside, and he wouldn't come inside. He wouldn't come through his doggy door. So I had to go open the back door and stuff and let him in, and he was acting really funny. And I didn't think a whole lot of it, and so I went and did the show and did some other work, and Em was in the bedroom, and then she comes out and she goes, "I don't know what's going on with your dog. He's being really strange." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, he'll just like sit still, and then he'll jump up and spin around and lick the carpet, and then sit down, and then he just keeps doing that." And I was like, "That doesn't sound right." So I go in, and the thing is, he's a lab weenie. He's weenie shaped this way and lab shaped this way, so he can't reach his behind. And I thought, well, that's strange. And so I held him down, and I lifted his tail, and there was blood, a lot of blood. Not necessarily like it wasn't leaking. There wasn't a puddle anywhere, but there was a lot of fluid around that area of my dog. And I thought, this isn't okay. Maybe he has diarrhea. He has black fur, so it was like maybe there's just diarrhea. So I asked him to get me some paper towels, and I held him down, and I wiped, and it was blood. It was red, and it was mucusy and weird. And I thought, oh, I got a little bit scared. And this was at like 7 o'clock. So we ended up calling the emergency hospital here. And I asked them, like, is this something I should wait for in the morning? Like, that's entirely your call. They gave me, a quote on what, just an exam is and all that sort of stuff. And I said, okay. And Em said, let's just take him. She's like, I don't want to see him suffer. As it turns out, he had an abscessed gland. If you don't know, dogs have marking glands back there. Essentially, it holds their musk or their scent. And they can become impacted or infected, and his got infected, and I don't know how long it's been infected, because he literally didn't act weird until yesterday. And then yesterday he started acting funny, and that was it. And it was abscessed and was just leaking fluid, pus and stuff. So they cleaned it all out and gave him antibiotics. I've got 14 days of antibiotics to give him and some NSAIDs. They also said maybe he has a low-grade heart murmur, which, he goes to the doctor every year and gets his shots, and they never say anything about a heart murmur. But the emergency vet said it could be because he's super skittish. Like, he is very high-strung nervous when I'm not around. She said that could be part of it. So she didn't want to give him steroids to clear that up because of the heart murmur. So she said, cold compresses and that sort of thing. So it was a little bit of a scare. It was, a significant amount of money to take care of him last night, but got him home, and he actually seemed to be okay. He woke me up this morning at like 5:30 with his collar jingling because he was doing the butt on the carpet thing again. And so I had to take his collar off to keep him from waking him up, and then I just got up with him and took care of him this morning and did the best I could. But he's being a dog, and, when dogs are hurt, they go hide. That's just their way of protecting themselves because they are incapable of protecting themselves, or they feel incapacitated. So he likes to get, hide under the bed. And I had to coax him out with treats just to get him to take his medication this morning. But he'll be okay. It's nothing to be hugely worried about, especially since we caught it before it became a much bigger issue. I'm just shocked that it happened essentially over a single day. Like, I'm sure it had been giving him problems for a while, but he's never complained about it. Or if he has, 2 years ago he hurt his leg. I think he got his foot caught in a vole hole, a mole hole essentially, but a vole hole, or maybe a squirrel hole. I don't know what's in the yard right now. And he tweaked his leg, and he's had a limp ever since. And so it's also possible that that limp was hiding it from me, and I couldn't tell that there was something wrong with his butt area. But it was scary, It was truthfully... I like to talk crap about my dog. If you meet me in person, you'll know that I call him a whole bunch of really bad names and tell him I don't like him. But he's still my dog, and I don't want to see him suffer. So good times. Going to be taking care of him for a couple weeks. But that's okay. He took care of me for a good year. He was somebody to come home to for a year. So that's what I have for you today. Hope my dog's okay. He will be fine. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again on Monday. Today's word you should know to sound smart is feckless. It's an adjective meaning possessing an air of casual indifference, lacking definitiveness of purpose. Some accuse us of being feckless, but they have no idea how difficult it is to live a wealth-infused lifestyle. Feckless. F-E-C-K-L-E-S-S. I've always loved that word. I think I first encountered it it was definitely some fantasy author's writing, maybe Pratchett. Such a good word, feckless.